Welcome to the Angus Report, a news program for cattle producers.
From American Angus Association headquarters in St. Joseph, Missouri, we bring you the week's top headlines, including some tips to keep in mind for calving season.
We talk to NCBA's Kim Stackhouse on the importance of sustainability in the beef business.
And Rick Funston of the University of Nebraska discusses how time of calving can influence feedlot performance.
This is the Angus Report. Hello, I'm Bob Cervera.
And I'm Crystal Albers.
Our top story this week. A recently released comparative price study from Certified Angus Beef shows record high premiums paid for Angus calves compared to non-Angus calves last fall. Data collected from 9 auction markets in fall of 2012 show an all-time high Angus premium of $5.30 per hundredweight for the combined 504-pound heifers and 511-pound steers. Here's the premium study resulted from prices reported on more than 12,000 calves that sold in October and November across the United States. The overall database now contains prices on more than 300,000 cattle sold since 1999. Premiums for Angus calves have grown in a near linear trend since the study was initiated.
Calving season can be the most exciting time on a farm or ranch. As calves arrive, industry experts offer a few practical tips to make calving easier on you and your herd.
The key is be prepared. Calving does not require full-time observation if the cows can do their job, but you need to provide an environment for them where they can be successful. So whatever risks are on your operation, you want to minimize those risks any way you can to give that cow and that calf an opportunity to be successful. And it could be evaluating nutrition today and making sure you're on board there. It could be calving facilities because we all know Mother Nature throws curves at us. There are times when you have to assist. You have to be there to help out. And in those situations, you want to have facilities to make sure you can handle that animal safely and properly for good results.
Sustainability is often discussed, but what does it really mean for the beef industry? Kim Stackhouse, Director of Sustainability Research with NCBA, says it's important to understand sustainability and its implications for the future growth of the cattle industry. Continued sustainability research and technologies are helping cattle operations of any size improve the way they raise cattle and their bottom line.
The checkoff has funded the first and largest beef sustainability project of its kind. And this is the first project that's ever looked truly from cradles, so feed production and birth of the animal, to grave. So actually consumption, cooking, and refrigeration use at the consumer end. And we've defined sustainability as balancing economic stability, environmental responsibility, and social responsibility. So it's really a three-pillared approach. Sustainability is a really new science, and there's so many interacting sciences that play a role. I mean, all the way to the meat science end, right-size packaging, increased shelf life to the level of the animal, right? So, we don't know everything about it yet, especially the social pillar. So we're still figuring out how to measure that, how to quantify that, how to benchmark where we've been in social sustainability and how to move that forward.
The global marketplace for beef continues to expand with recent progress in Japanese export markets and other opportunities abroad. At the International Livestock Congress, Phil Ming of the U.S. Meat Export Federation shared his thoughts on both the increasing global appetite for U.S. beef and remaining challenges.
We see beef demand growing worldwide on a 3 to 5% clip, so it's very important, I think, for the U.S. cattlemen, where you see some of these other markets in these other countries where they used to be pretty heavy exporters of beef and producers of beef. As they're going down, we need to do more in this country to accelerate our production, expand our beef production, because the demand internationally is so dramatic and it's growing so quickly that we need to be even a larger factor than we are today. I mean, we've come a long ways. We're doing about 15% of our total production is being exported. We'd like to see more of that. If organizations and governments get together, they impose a lot of regulatory and administrative apparatus that really chokes an industry. Some of these types of things can directly impact producers, trade, and the production of the product. But when we take a look at the demand out there in the world, when we take a look at a China factor, where their production and of beef has doubled in the last 20 years, there are other areas where this can grow.
A University of Missouri specialist in agribusiness says we can expect more corn and soybean acres in 2013. Projections from the Winter Ag Marketing Outlook Conference suggest we could see 99 million acres planted to corn in 2013. That's 2 million acres more than last year. Planted acres of soybeans are also expected to increase about 2 million acres to 79 million this year.
With declining economic conditions, research funding often takes a back seat. Federal funding for agriculture research and studies aimed specifically for animal agriculture has dropped in recent years. Russell Cross of Texas A&M discusses the challenges and opportunities for the future of the research community and livestock-based studies.
If you look over the last 20 years, the federal government has funded about $1.4 billion a year to all agriculture. That's been flat. Now compare that to Brazil, which is $3 billion a year for all agriculture, and then compare that to China, which is $45 billion. And so if we're going to double our food production in the next 40 or 50 years, it's got to be done with science. So we're at a crisis mode right now as far as funding for animal research and all ag research. And if we continue along the path that we're on, in 10 years, we could have a third fewer animal science departments in this country. The main approach has got to be an awareness and a sense of urgency. Because if we wake up one morning and find that we've got a food security problem, we're in trouble.
When the Angus Report returns, Paige Wallace reports on the growing concerns of food waste.
And we discuss how calving time can influence feedlot performance.
Visit angus.org to continue watching this episode of the Angus Report.
The Angus Report is brought to you by Merck Animal Health. Why not prevent respiratory disease before it steals from your bottom line? Vista Once protects your calves with the most complete respiratory disease coverage available. And Vision Blackleg vaccines can add 14 pounds per calf at weaning. Contact your veterinarian or animal health supplier today.